So if you look here, I don't know if that's showing up real good with this light, but the bottom of many of these leaves has aphids on it. Now I was out here yesterday and I sprayed water on the bottom of these leaves because you can see where the aphids have done damage. And the interesting thing is aphids oftentimes are farmed by ants. And so if you can get rid of the ants that are farming them, then you've got a chance to defeat the aphids. And you can see I've got ants all over here. They're red color. I don't know if they're red ants, but they're red color ants. And another thing that's interesting is not all the ants in the colony are the same, because you can see over here they're doing a lot of collecting and gathering. Their nest is over there somewhere, but I don't need to know where their nest is, because I've got a secret weapon of sugar and borax and water, and it's so good they can't resist. And they don't want to eat borax, but they can't separate it from the sugar, so they take it back to the nest. And long story short, it doesn't go good with their anatomy, and that's the end of the nest. Now, eggs that have already been laid will hatch again, so you might have to do this more than once. But let me show you what I do to make up my ant poison. Let's go and get it done. Okay, so let me show you just how easy it is to make that. You just need some granulated sugar, some borax, mixing bowl, and a little bit of water. So I always start with the sugar so I don't put borax in the sugar. And you're going to want to use 2 parts of sugar and 1 part of borax. So if you need to make a lot, use a bigger thing. Just use 2 of them to 1 of them. 2 to 1. And when ant, if you offered this borax, of course, they're going to refuse it. And that's why you mix it with sugar. And I think I spilt a little bit of borax, so I'm going to add some sugar. The whole idea is you put enough sugar in there that they want to eat it, and they can't separate it from the borax once it's dissolved in the water. And they'll just take it all back to the nest, and whoever eats it, they end up having some gastrointestinal problems, and then they don't survive that. They're hard shells, and if you get gas in a hard shell, something's got to give, and when it blows out, yeah, they don't survive. So, but here's the thing, there's still eggs in that nest and larvae and all that stuff. They're not necessarily going to be affected by this first batch, and so you might have to do this a few times to get them all. Then other ants move into the area, so it's an ongoing thing, but at least this is easy to make. So let's just add just a little bit of water to this. You want it to be like a little bit runny frosting. I think I just added too much water. I sure did. But it will all dissolve in the water. We'll put this mix into these lids, and we'll set it outside, and we'll get rid of some ants. Alright, let's go outside. Okay, so you can see I'm outside here and set this stuff down. I already had an ant crawl into the cups. There's nothing in it yet, but this is a little bit more watery than I would like, but you know what? It's still gonna work, because it's really hard to mess this up. The ants are gonna love it. They're gonna take it back to their little places. Oh, look there. There was an ant inside there, and I just buried him in the goop. That's pretty wild. Sorry about the camera action there. I'm I'm trying to pay attention to a couple different things at once, and I guess I'm not as good at it as I thought. You know, when you're outside, it doesn't matter if you spill a little bit of sugar water, but you don't want to do it inside, do you? Like, oops, we just spilled it there. Ants are gonna find it. Ooh, look, there's a bunch of ants that are coming to check me out. So let's just give them some right there. And I'll leave this bowl out here too in a different spot. We're going to go check that out in a minute. Right now, we're going to place this in here. We're going to put one of these at each of these cucumbers. Because we're after the ants that are raising all these nasty little aphids here. We're going to get rid of them. And I'm sure that some of these ants are gonna stop. Just put, I mean, there's some right there. That ant found it. All right, so here we are. It's been a little while, and you can see all of these ants that are down here eating up all that sugar water and borax. It's like there's two different kinds of ants down here. I think these bigger ants are like the guards, and the little ants are the little worker ants. Because I don't see the little ants up here. Look, there's a baby ladybug right there. That's what they look like. Once we get rid of all these ants, we got a better chance of getting rid of some of these aphids. It won't take long for this to start working now. They'll be taking it back to the nest, and yeah, in a day or two, you won't even hardly see any out here, and then there'll be a few that'll come back, and we'll put out some more of this, and they'll be gone. Alright, very good. Thanks for watching.